you've taken over Bond Street, Burberry Street station. Is this a commitment to the UK?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we communicated that for us we're going to really anchor ourselves in London. We're a great British brand, so we're going to celebrate that a lot more. And first day of London Fashion Week, what better way to take over one of our most famous tube stations, Burberry Street, that was Bond Street. So it's a great initiative. We've got many things going on around the capital. So I think everybody will be very aware that we've got a show on Monday. So it's super exciting.
And is this to get closer to your customer and consumer?
Yeah, well, we now have a new creative director, Daniel Lee, who I believe is one of the biggest talents, creative talents of our generation. So we're extremely lucky to have him. And he's very aligned with my vision that, we need to celebrate being British. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to really start talking in a lot louder way in our home market. And then next month we move on to Seoul. So we're doing a very similar activation in Seoul. And then after that, Shanghai, and then back to New York. So it's a big multi-city activation.
How's business in the UK doing?
Business in the UK, obviously it's our market. So we've just opened our fourth store in London. We just renovated our store in Bond Street, which is fantastic, super exciting. We're very positive.
Your chairman has had a go at the government for actually not helping luxury companies or retail companies out more with VAT refunds. Are you missing out?
Well, we're not missing out. I mean, overall, globally, our tourist sales have obviously been increasing in the last couple of years, which is a positive. So that's a good trend. Unfortunately, there is a gap between our tourist spend growth in mainland Europe versus the UK, which is disappointing, especially as it's our home market. So we'll keep communicating that. We think probably post-Brexit, it would have been an opportunity. It would have been an opportunity to bring more tourists in. So we hope that sometime soon things will change.
Will the government listen?
I hope so. Well, we keep talking. It's not just us as well. I think there is a big movement to keep communicating about the frustration of it. But we're also concentrating on celebrating our brand here in London Fashion Week as well. So still lots to do.
Jonathan, are you missing the Chinese tourists in London, or are they spending elsewhere, or is it really a loss of revenue?
I wouldn't say we're missing them. As I said, generally our tourist growth has been impressive globally, so it's just spreading around globally. So, even into the UK as well.
So, when you look at pockets of growth, where are you doing especially well, like regionally?
Regionally, well, our quarter one results that we communicated in May, we showed good growth in Europe. So Europe has been strong. Also very positive in Southeast Asia, APAC, and China.
And how's that Daniel Lee going?
Sorry?
How's the new creative director going? Sales are
amazing, yeah. So I think Daniel has this incredible talent for accessories. So I think he's probably, in my opinion, he's one of the best creative directors that has an incredible lens on accessories. And for us, we also think it's a big growth area for Burberry. And we've now actually, literally last week, we've gone live with Daniel's product into our stores. And super exciting. And it's really great when you see the teams and the customers really appreciating the work that he's done. So we believe we've got a big opportunity in accessories, especially as obviously we have a big strength in ready to wear as well. So it's good.
How do you explain this move to quiet luxury?
It's definitely a trend, and I think that's a positive trend. I think obviously logos and branding is always going to be really important for us. We have an icon in a check as well. So Daniel really believes that the check is something that we can be a lot more playful with, not just in our Nova check beige colour, but he's actually embraced it in other colours. And we call this blue our Night's blue as well. So I think, and Daniel naturally, as a house, I think Burberry is quite an understated brand, but there is a clear trend for things being less branded and more sophisticated. And I think that also plays to Burberry's strengths as well.
When you look at your supply chain or where things are made, do you think a made in India or made in elsewhere will always have, at some point, have the luxury appeal that made in Italy or made in France has, or made in the UK?
I think customers look for ultimately the quality of the product, and for us, we're bringing a lot more of our production into Europe, actually, particularly into Italy. So we're bringing it more near shore than perhaps we were previously. But I think the most important thing is the quality of the product, and some things you can get made better in some countries versus others. So.
What's your biggest challenge in the next 12 months?
The biggest challenge is we're on a big elevation journey here at Burberry, which is super exciting, and I think it's definitely our moment. I think it's a market share for Burberry to have, but that means really for us it's going to be about attracting a bigger luxury customer into the brand, particularly for categories like accessories. So we're really focusing on the execution of our strategy, and but really confident that people are really appreciating and seeing what we're doing, and doing activations like this as well. I think people it brings an element of surprise, and they'll be coming into our stores, I'm sure. We also refreshed our website as well to kind of anchor into this new brand image and aesthetic that we have, and we launched that last week, and also had a big increase in traffic to our site since that was done as well.
So in terms of execution, is it going higher end or a higher net worth? Or bigger markets?
Well, Burberry is a very democratic brand, but we do feel that we can play a lot more into that luxury space, and that means an elevation into certain categories. Particularly for us, we felt, as you know, we have probably the most luxury, iconic trench that we have that has been around for many, many years, and that is a true luxury product, handmade in the UK. It's really the ultimate in rainwear. So we already have good luxury product, our cashmere scarves, but we feel we could play more into that accessory space and other ready-to-wear categories.
And how's demand in China going?
Good, yeah, very positive. Yeah, we're really pleased. I think it's been great to have China back opened, and during that period we were able to refurbish and refresh a number of our stores. And again, there's a huge awareness of Daniel and his talent. The Chinese customers are really sophisticated. They know their brands, they know their designers, so they're also super excited about what's coming into the stores.
Jonathan, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. Thanks, Francine.